Hi, I'm Erin Lee.
And I'm Kaylin Jones. Today our AP Human Geography project will be on wind power. The advantages of wind power is it reduces greenhouse emission and electricity costs. It's a clean source of energy. It's renewable. It can be used almost anywhere, and it generates energy without using limited sources.
The
Disadvantages.
disadvantages of wind power is that it's inconsistent. Building power plant can be really expensive. The blades are harmful to birds and kills the ecosystem, and it's damaged in storms, and the maintenance is expensive. Cost and environmental concerns. The technology requires a higher initial investment than fossil-fueled generators. Wind costs are more competitive with other generating technologies because there is no fuel to purchase and minimal operating expenses.
Wind power has little impact on the environment compared to fossil fuel power plants. However, there is some concern with the noise produced by the blades, and it also kills birds and bats.
The top 10 producers of wind power are China, the United States, Germany, Spain, India, United Kingdom, Italy, France, Canada, and Denmark. The world's largest wind farm is the Roscoe Wind Farm. Wind cannot be stored, but wind turbines convert the kinetic energy in the wind into the mechanical power. A generator can convert this mechanical power into electricity to power homes, businesses, and schools.
And that is the end of our presentation.
Thank you.
Now we're going to be showing a short video from PBS America Reveal on how to locate wind.
But unlike Edison, we've got some very impressive technology these days to help with the search. Each of these spinning points of light represents the readings from thousands of sensors. This is a high-tech treasure map for America's fastest-growing renewable resource, wind. Across the country, over 36,000 wind turbines dot the landscape. We converted the data produced by those sensors, revealing stunningly complex wind patterns sped up 10,000 times.
All of this data provides a picture of what the wind conditions and weather conditions are like across the country. With the new technologies that have been developed in the last 10 or 15 years, it's really become possible to predict with quite good accuracy how windy it's going to be at any location in the country.
In Albany, New York, I've come to see Dr. Michael Brower, who uses this mapping data to help identify new wind project sites.
Looking at the simulation, why are certain regions better for building wind projects than others?
The main wind project development area for the U.S. right now is in the Great Plains. Really a whole band from central Texas on up to the Dakotas. Almost all of this area is very windy most of the time. And there are also some nice terrain features in this area, hills, small ridges, mesas, and so forth, which help to concentrate the wind. The problem along the West Coast is that there are mountains which are blocking the path. And so the atmosphere looks for channels. One of the main gaps is the Columbia River Valley, which is the only sea level passage through the Cascade Mountains in the Pacific Northwest.
So the Columbia River Gorge is basically a funnel, and so all the wind shoots through that funnel, creating a wind superhighway.
Exactly, and in fact, that area has been a region of very active wind development.
Hi, I'm Zaria,
Hi, I'm Maya.
and this is our AP Human Geography project on solar power. What is solar power? Solar power is gained by the harnessing of energy from sun rays. A photovoltaic array of solar panels converts sunlight into electricity through the use of silicon cells.
How is energy stored, transported, and distributed? Solar energy is collected through photovoltaic cells located on a flat plate solar collector. During the day, electricity generated is used either by borrowing loads or to charge storage batteries. These systems are called off-grid tide systems. These systems are usually found in remote homes, weather stations, or radio sites and parks.
How will the environment be affected in the future? There are no global warming emissions associated with generating electricity from solar energy, but there are emissions associated with manufacturing and materials transportation. Solar panels are made from silicon, which are Earth's natural elements. The production of solar panels and other products that are made from silicon can cause depletion of this natural element. The PV
How can negatives be minimized? Use other natural materials that can be depleted easily to manufacture the solar panels. As solar technology advances, minimize the amount of space needed to locate solar panels.
top companies that produce solar energy. Suntech. Suntech was one of First Solar, Sharp Solar,
And
Yingli.
Yingli Green Energy. Top consumers.
Germany,
Spain,
Japan,
the United States,
Italy, advantages of solar energy is it is a renewable energy source.
very little maintenance is required.
Financial support and incentives.
Solar energy creates absolutely no pollution. Disadvantages of solar energy.
Solar panels are needed to be placed on the roofs because the solar panels work more optimally at the heights due to the increased intensity of the sunlight.
Solar power is intermittent. It occurs at irregular intervals, therefore is not continuous or steady.
The cost of manufacturing and installation solar panels is relatively high.
Not all the light from the sun is absorbed by the solar panels. Therefore, most solar panels have a 40% efficiency rate. Next is the video on a church that uses solar power.
And that brings me to Florida Avenue Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. Pastor Earl Trent and his congregation are turning to solar energy. They've got their own power plant up on the church roof.
This is the entire system. There are 44 of them, and it's very, very basic and very simple. When people think about solar power system, they're thinking about something complicated. But as you see, they're just angled panels. Sun hits them, and then it turns into current.
Unlike massive solar arrays that can generate electricity for thousands of people, the church's system is pretty modest, but it saves them $400 a month. It represents a small but growing trend that's changing how we get our power. Over the last 2 years, more than 100,000 families have installed solar panels throughout America.
This is only the first step in a green ministry. It's going to be an education about energy efficiency, renewable energy, and conservation.
The system cost $60,000 to put in and would have been out of reach without government subsidies and donations from church members.
You can't realistically expect that everyone in your congregation is going to put up a solar panel, right? So, I mean, what are you trying to do here?
What we're trying to do is change their thinking so that they will become more energy efficient in their own homes. This is a catalyst, and that's what we want. You know, this is a start.
Hi, my name is Miriam Kansa.
My name is Christine Candelario.
And my name is Isha.
And this is our
Presentation. An energy alternative.
What is biomass? Biomass is material that derives from living organisms. An often misconception is that biomass can only be converted into energy using agricultural products. However, animal-based materials can be used to produce biomass energy.
Top producers. The leading 5 countries of biomass energy production are 1. The United States, 2. Canada, 3. Germany, 4. Russia, 5. Sweden. The top biomass energy production states named by Forbes magazine are 1. North Dakota, 2. Iowa, 3. Mississippi, 4. Georgia, 5. North Carolina.
The 5 top consumer countries that consume the most biomass energy are 1. Brazil, 2. India, 3. United States, 4. Nigeria, and 5. Canada. Pros and cons of biomass energy. The pros are that it's renewable, it's cost effective, and it's abundant.
The cons are land use. Large areas are needed for different processes in harvesting energy for biomass. It requires large quantities of water. The competition of producing biomass. Seasons. Some fuels are seasonal and can only be grown in certain climates during a certain season.
Future effects on the environment. It has harmful pollutants. The water is used in several aspects of biomass energy, and in order for biomass energy to exist, there must be farms to grow its feedstocks.
How is biomass energy stored, transported, and distributed? Biomass energy comes from the biological energy stored in plant material. That's because plants absorb energy from the sun through the process of photosynthesis. When biomass is burned, this stored energy is released as heat. It is used to produce electricity, various types of fuel, and many of the chemicals used to produce household products.
And this is the end of our presentation. This is our product on biomass. And basically, here we have a water bottle, and here is molded bread. And once the bread molds, it releases carbon dioxide,
Which inflates the balloon.
creating biomass energy.
Some say using wood to generate electricity cuts down on North Carolina's reliance on coal. Others say there's nothing green about cutting our forests and using the wood for fuel. Dr. Tom Linden from the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication has the story in the second of our 2-part energy series.
Just north of Roxborough, near the Virginia border, loggers clear 200 acres of mixed hardwoods and pine. These logs will go to a paper mill, but this pile will get chipped and sent to a power plant to be burned for fuel. Wood waste is a fuel source scientists call biomass, or organic waste. Other forms of biomass include grasses, corn, and manure. Logging advocate Doug Duncan says woody biomass has a bright future in North Carolina.
If we're able to substitute some fossil fuels and using green material for woody biomass, we'd be pleased to have that.
Each weekday, A stream of trucks delivers 600 tons of woody biomass to the Canadian-owned company Capital Power in Roxborough. Plant manager Frank Hayward says the facility has been in service for about 25 years.
It was originally constructed as a cogeneration power facility. We use woody biomass as a large portion, 50% of our fuel mix. We generate electricity, and that power is sold through commercial agreements to Progress Energy.
Woody biomass includes branches, tops of trees, and even whole logs.
This is what we call woody biomass. This is what we've been discussing. It's got a little bit of everything, if you will. There's leaves and pine needles and bark.
Besides wood, Capital Power burns 90 tons of ground-up tires and 90 tons of coal a day.
Hi, I'm Erin Lee.